So now we'll move on to Steve Brandt. His mission is Build Back Wiser. I will share my screen and now pass it on to him.
Super. Thank you, Jasmine. And that's the interesting combination of two steps in the process that you are all looking at right now. And by that I mean I had a logo for the Build Back Wiser vision initially called Access to Thinking Differently, which was inspired by the Whole Earth Catalog, which had its subtitle Access to Tools. But I want to start by actually thanking my team, Sarah Hutt, Greg Linden, Amos Loving, Miguel Quinones, and Jalen Gildersleeve. They really worked brilliantly with me to clarify just what can this project consist of. And we are continuing to talk. We met yesterday, and I'm going to share the results of that as well. The vision of this project is a world where a critical mass of humanity has learned to think and solve problems as Bucky did. Bucky, we've been sharing quotes, and one quote Bucky said was, "There is no crisis of the environment. There is a crisis of education." And he said that because what we haven't been taught is how to think of problems systemically. We think of problems as individual broken parts to be fixed separately. So the idea for Build Back Wiser is to create this, is to catalyze this thinking evolution. And again, the process is solving problems by eliminating their root causes. That's what systems thinking gives us. And one of my teachers once called it not actually solving problems, but dissolving them so that they never come back. Because again, when you try to fix them as broken parts, they can come back. You don't actually eliminate their root causes. So the question of the project over the last X weeks was, how do you sell a new way of thinking? How do you market it? And I initially thought of Access to Thinking Differently because I thought I was selling a process, a thinking evolution. But the group helped me see that we have to sell an outcome and a new place that we can get to from thinking differently. And so that's why I've, at least for now, changed the tagline to how to achieve the world of our dreams. And one of the things that we discussed yesterday was language needs not to have too much legacy baggage associated with it, because I've been a world peace guy since my childhood visit to the UN at age 7. But world peace is a phrase that has a lot of baggage associated with it. And I really appreciate the fact that the team has encouraged me to not use words that have that kind of, everybody singing Kumbaya while holding hands. That sometimes is what world peace brings up in people's minds. This is not that. So for now, it's how to achieve the world of our dreams. And I look forward to the team's next discussion on that. But we also talked about the process for how this would be achieved, how this educational breakthrough would be achieved. And there's a model for reaching out to people called the Trade Association model. It's not like we're starting a new religion. We're starting a way to help people see that if you want to achieve a world of our dreams, a cooperative future where we have actually solved our environmental challenges and our equality challenges and all the other challenges we face, we have to have some way to learn that. So the process has also involved discussing what kind of a organization could be be set up to do this. And because I've had this marketing bug in me, we talked about the use of people who can help popularize this process, be they from entertainment, music, sports. There's a long history of people from Hollywood, from sports, from music, championing things that need to happen that haven't happened yet. And so we talked about that as well. And the last thing we talked about was that we want people to be able to practice this in a kind of a tribute to Buckminster Fuller's world game, because that's a prototyping process. If you want to create a world where people are finally dissolving problems through systems thinking and cooperation, you have to have an idea of how that will look before you can offer it. It's prototyping. So we talked about that as possibly consisting of an online game environment that people would plug into. And that was the third part of our conversation. So again, I'm delighted with the support Sarah and Greg and Amos and Miguel and Jalen offered, and some of their support is continuing beyond this space camp. And it's been a delight, really a thrill to get to talk through this question of how do you create a critical mass of humanity that finally thinks the way Bucky did. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Steve. I really like how you reoriented to the future. You know, what is it we can try to visualize and look towards? In the chat here, you have comments. Angus mentions, you know, he supports the rewording. It changes the mode. Stroopy mentioned think in pieces but whole. So wonderful. Any other comments or feedback or questions for Steve?
I should mention that there are some of the team here today. If any of them want to comment, we'd be delighted to hear their reflections as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, this is Greg Linden. Thanks, Steve. It's been a pleasure. I really benefited from the resources that were shared among the team. Jalen in particular provided so much insight. And the other thing I just would offer with the rewording, Steve, realizing our dreams. You know, I've never been a big cult of personality follower like celebrity. I think that's overrated. But if celebrity speaks to an audience and they also have, maybe we think that celebrities have realized their own dreams, but they could reframe that. I'm just thinking now that we all can realize our dreams the way celebrities appear to have realized their dream, but in a new, more earth-oriented, natural-oriented framework. So just a thought.
Thank you, Greg. Yeah, I should put some context in. It's not like every celebrity's dreams, but for example, and this is not a celebrity like a singer, but it's a Gene Roddenberry, who is a celebrity in the world of science fiction for having created Star Trek. This is his centennial year. He would have been 100 years old. So there's an opportunity to potentially leverage his centennial to talk about how science fiction helps us imagine the futures that we can have, sometimes negative possibilities, but sometimes positive possibilities, because again, it's storytelling. And yes, Jalen shared a storytelling resource as part of this gathering, and I'm very much appreciative to that, because we're going to work through that, how to tell this story, how to invite people in. Thank you again, Greg.
Awesome. Thank you both. Now we will